Have you ever felt, well, stuck? Like there's this invisible wall between who you are and who you want to be. You know exactly what you should be doing, but for some reason, you just keep getting in your own way. Well, Brianna Wiest's book, The Mountain Is You, has a pretty powerful take on this. It argues that wall isn't invisible at all. And today, we're going to break down exactly what that wall is made of. Right from the jump, the book hits you with this idea. It's kind of intense, right? It's saying that real, meaningful change isn't just about adding a few good habits. Nope. It's about letting go of an entire identity. It's a really deep thought that totally sets the stage for the personal climb we're about to explore.
So, let's get right to it. What exactly is this mountain we're talking about? This is the central metaphor for the entire book. And honestly, once you get this, everything else just clicks into place.
Okay, so the mountain isn't some external problem. It's not your boss, it's not a lack of money, it's not bad luck. According to Wiest, the mountain is the sum of your own self-sabotaging behaviors, those unresolved feelings, and the limiting beliefs that are keeping you right where you are. And this is where the title really hits home. The mountain is you. Sounds like an accusation, but it's not. It's actually meant to be incredibly empowering. Think about it. If you are the mountain, then that means you already have the map. You have all the tools, and you have the strength to climb it. The problem and the solution are in the exact same place.
So that brings us to the core psychological reason why we do this stuff. Why do we actively get in our own way? It's probably not for the reason you think. I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Why do we procrastinate on that big project? Or stay in a job we can't stand? Or text someone we know deep down is just bad for us? It makes no sense on the surface. But according to the book, there's actually a very powerful, very logical reason for our seemingly irrational behavior. And here it is, the big aha moment of the book. We usually tell ourselves that we self-sabotage because we're lazy or undisciplined or maybe even a little bit broken. But the truth is so much deeper than that. It's actually a defense mechanism. Our brains are trying to protect us even when it feels like they're working against us. It's a survival instinct that's just gone a little haywire. And here's the kicker. Your brain would rather deal with a familiar, predictable misery than the terrifying uncertainty of success. It knows the outcome of procrastination, you feel bad. It knows the outcome of staying in that bad situation, you feel stuck. But a new career, a healthy relationship, that's completely unknown territory. And to our ancient brain, unknown equals dangerous. Self-sabotage is just its way of keeping us in the safe, familiar zone. Okay, so if our brain is sending out these constant danger signals about anything new, how do we ever move forward? How can we possibly tell the difference between a genuine red flag and just our fear of the unknown? This is where we have to learn how to listen to our inner compass. The trick is learning to tell these two voices apart. Fear is loud, it's frantic, it screams in your head, you have to figure this out right now. It feels like pure panic. But intuition, that's different. It's quiet. It's this calm, deep sense of knowing. It doesn't rush you, it just presents a truth. And often it feels like that unmistakable sinking feeling that tells you something just isn't right. And listen, this skill is everything. Just being able to pause in a moment of stress and ask yourself, wait a minute, is this my fear talking or is this my intuition? That is the very first step to making conscious choices instead of just reacting to subconscious panic. It's literally how you start the climb. All right, so we've covered the why. Now let's get into the how. We know our brain totally freaks out about massive sudden change. So how do you actually climb the mountain without setting off all those internal alarms? You know most self-help advice, right? It just screams, take massive action, go big or go home. Wiest argues that's exactly why we usually fail. It's just too much, too soon, and it terrifies our subconscious. The book's method is the total opposite. Small, tiny, almost unnoticeable changes that build on each other over time. And these are perfect examples of what she calls micro shifts. They're so small that they fly right under the radar of your brain's fear response. The goal isn't to suddenly run a marathon tomorrow. The goal is to simply become the kind of person who puts on their running shoes. You see? You're not just changing your habits, you're slowly and quietly building a whole new identity. This quote just perfectly sums up the whole philosophy. Big, lofty goals are great for inspiration, sure, but it's your daily systems, those tiny little habits, that actually determine your reality. The idea is to build a daily life that you don't feel the need to escape from in the first place.
Okay, so we get the mountain, we get the psychology, and we get the path forward. But the final question is this book the right guide for your specific climb? Let's get real about who this is for. So the book's biggest strength, hands down, is its voice. It's empathetic, it's wise, it feels like you're talking to a kind, smart friend. On the other hand, it can feel a bit repetitive sometimes. And if you're looking for hard scientific data or clinical studies, well, this isn't that book. It's much more philosophical, more poetic in its approach. So, who is this really going to resonate with? It's perfect for that high-functioning, stressed person. You know, the one who looks like they have it all together on the outside, but inside they feel completely paralyzed. It's also an amazing guide for anyone navigating the chaos of a big life change, like a breakup or a new job, when you just need something to ground you. And that brings us all the way back to the single most important idea in this entire book. This isn't a message of blame. It is a message of ultimate personal power. The obstacle isn't somewhere out there, it's in here. And you know what that means? The solution is in here too. So, as we wrap this up, the question isn't, how are you going to conquer the entire mountain tomorrow? No, the real question is this. What is one tiny, manageable pebble, one single micro shift that you can move today?